Share my Facebook page link. Guys, welcome to my Wednesdays at 1 show. I am super excited this afternoon because I have two incredible DJs with me. I have DJ Voyage and I have DJ Junior Swoosh. These guys are music maestros. As I mentioned, they are the party maker, the request taker, the body shakers, right? They are the guys that bring music into our lives. And since we're not really going out to the clubs, we're not even really going to events, these guys have had to find new and interesting ways to perform their craft, but also learn more about how people take in music and more about what their preconceived notions were about music prior to the pandemic. Because in real time, in real life, a DJ has to respond right in the moment. And the more people you're around, the more requests you get, the more music you're exposed to, the bigger your palette gets, so to speak. And these guys have had to adjust on the fly. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring in my two DJs for today's show. I have Mr. DJ Voyage, and I have Mr. Junior Swoosh. These guys have been responsible for so many great nights in my life. So let me first say thank you guys for all that you do and just being great guys and being on the show today. Clark, I'm going to start with you. DJ Voyage, I'm going to start with you. Tell the people, how can they hear your music and your mixes?
Well, I do a weekly show on Jammin' 94.5. That's Boston's hip hop premier station. I do the Friday night throwdown at 2 a.m. in the times when we're, out at the clubs. A lot of times people are listening to that on their way home or in their Uber or whatever. But obviously right now we're just doing it from our home. We're doing it right on your smart speaker. You just tell your smart speaker to play Jammin' 94.5 on iHeartRadio. And 2 o'clock, you can find me. I'm on for an hour. And if you missed the show, you could always catch me on my Mixcloud page. So it's mixcloud.com. Just search for DJ Voyage. You'll find me on there, and I post up my mixes on there as well.
Excellent. Excellent. And Junior Swoosh, tell the people who you are and how they can listen to you.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate the conversation we're having right now. Again, my name is Junior Swoosh. I've been DJing for eons. Probably I started spinning since like 1996. Most people probably know me because of Officers Club. I was the main DJ there for 4 years in the radio room. And there's nobody that will talk about good club from back in the days without mentioning Officers Club. Right now, the craft is still alive. I'm still spinning regularly. I'm doing a lot of weddings nowadays. Most of my weddings are because of people that are mixed couples, like, Spanish marrying Africans, Haitians marrying a Spanish person, or African marrying a white person marrying a black person, and so on. But most of my mixes right now are been posted up on Mixcloud. I have a SoundCloud page also, but you want to hear some music, put on your headphones and go to Mixcloud. Junior Swoosh.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. So you mentioned a little bit about doing weddings. And I want to go back to that, just to that point for a minute, because when we talked a little bit earlier, you were telling me about sort of, people are still having in-person weddings,
Yes.
Believe it or not, and you're still DJing them. But now you have actually a little bit of an extra responsibility during a wedding. Tell the people a little bit about what happens at a in-person wedding in a pandemic?
The rules have changed quite bigly. What we used to ask people to join, get on the dance floor. Come on, let's have a good time. Hands up, party up. Now it's like dance with only person that you came with, like your partner, and keep that distance. And if you get in too crowded, please, we're gonna ask you to, pull back. It's completely opposite of what we grew up doing. Like the main purpose for us DJing is to get crowds up and dance. With the pandemic, the rules changed completely, not just for a safety thing, but also for the morale of a DJ. We feel like we're playing the hits, we're playing what the people want, but we have to kind of like slowly ask them, you got to keep that distance. And it's tough on us. Like, we're literally, for those of us that feed on that crowd participation, that feed on seeing like you have everybody in there having a good time dancing, and then to have to like, okay, you can't be too many of you guys on the dance floor right now. It's tough.
And DJ Voyage, your big show on Jammin' is designed to help people kind of keep the party going after the club, and people aren't going to clubs. And so do you feel still that connection with music that's popular out there, music that people want to listen to? Because you're not doing as many in-person things. You're doing some Zoom things maybe, but you also have your show that hasn't ever stopped on Jammin'. How connected do you feel to your audience, because you don't get to be in a room with them as much anymore?
Yeah, I mean, that's always going to be the tricky part as well, is when I'm doing my shows on Jammin', I already know that there are less people that are out and about that could potentially be listening. But I do know that there are some people that still do. There's a lot of people that actually, they work late, and, I know there's people that essential workers that work through the night, and sometimes that's what they look forward to listening to. So I can't really focus on just the people that are leaving the clubs or that are out partying at that time. There are a lot of people that also look for those mixes to keep them entertained because they are up late, so.
And you had a really interesting story. I want to say hi to my man, Ray Garcia, DJ Ray. This guy is someone that we all know. Big ups to him. This guy is an incredible DJ in his own right. He's also a big inspiration for other DJs, including our own DJ Voyage. What would you say to Ray right now if he were here, DJ Voyage?
I'd probably say thank you again for, lending me your equipment the first time I did my mixes and my gigs. I don't think that a lot of this could have been possible without Ray's guidance and assistance. And so, I owe a lot of what I do to you. So, Ray and I have known each other for many years, way before the DJing for me. I've known him for even, longer when he was DJing, even further back. But yeah, so a lot of the influence I got were from these two fellows right here, Ray, Swoosh. You guys really helped shape who I became. So, shout out to you.
Thank you, sir. Thank
you. That's great. And there's a little known fact about DJ Ray. He holds it down every Thursday nights at Bocados in Worcester. He is the longest continuously tenured DJ in one spot in Worcester right now. And
that's right.
This guy, I mean, it doesn't matter. He'll touch an old man's soul like mine with the classics, right? The old the R&B and the classic hip hop, right? But he'll get people burn up the floor with bachata and salsa and just everything. He's a true Craftsman. Oh, we got a special guest in the house today too. Yes, I
Shout out
love
to
it.
Wes.
Yes.
Worldwide
Say hi, everybody.
Wes.
Who's that? I can't hear you.
You can't hear you. Yeah, I got the headphones in.
Yeah. But that's the thing, is that, you know, we're talking about connections and music.
Look,
And Junior, I'm going to ask you, what do you think is going to be different for you as a DJ once you're back in a post-pandemic world?
I think the energy is going to be a lot more. Like, we're going to be more engaged into it, because we've seen all types of memes out there for DJs when the pandemic shut everything down. One of them was like, the funniest one I've seen, I can recall, was a DJ warming up the crowd, and like, throw your hands up, throw your hands up. If you have $100 in your pocket, put your hands up. If you survive COVID-19, put your hands up. Stuff like that. I'm like, I think for us, it's definitely gonna bring back that morale, that energy to get engaging again. Right now, I think Voyage will tell you the same thing, is that we're doing our best at keeping our skills up, not just the mixes that we're doing for online listenings, or if I go to a get together right now, intimate group of people, and like, I'm pushing whoever's the DJ off, like, get off. I'm gonna spin, because one, I love it. Two, it keeps my skills fresh, and then of course, you get to interact with people that may have future plans to have big parties again. So if you invite me somewhere, and even though it's like small intimate gatherings, for a fact I'm pushing you aside, like, let me go spin, because I'm I got a lot of mixes on Mixcloud you can listen to, and I love those challenges to keep up with the music and do some old school stuff here and there. But when you have that person, like that group in front of you, the party people in front of you, you get excited again.
Now, Voyage, you told me a great story about sort of an education that you had in real time at a real event about music and what's popular and what to be popular, and maybe what's the reality out in the streets. Tell us a little bit about that story, because I think it's fascinating, and it's going to help us segue into sort of what's next for people that do what you do.
Oh my goodness, yeah. So I definitely got humbled very quickly at one event that I did. It was a Sweet 16 party. So, I had, obviously I went through, I had a list from, the birthday girl, for all the songs that she wanted. And I looked at the list, and I thought that, I was like, this list is a little different than what I thought was, the new hip music from the radio and whatnot. So I went with it. And during the party, we had everything going, the party was going, but I got, I always take a lot of requests from the kids, and, I basically just want to play what they want to hear, make sure that they're enjoying themselves, having a good time. And, they kept asking me about playing some music that I'd never heard from. I didn't know what it was, and I couldn't really understand what they were asking. I searched for it, and I couldn't find it. So basically I learned that they were looking for things from YouTube. So as I was trying to think quick on my feet, I basically pulled out my iPad with the keyboard, and I gave it to them and had them type what they wanted on the Notes app, and I had it synced to my computer. So I basically could see what they're writing at the same time. And I would take that, and I would search YouTube for it, and actually download it from YouTube, put it in the Serato, listen, doing this all live while I'm actually in the middle of DJ. And it came to find out, like, what we listen to, a lot of people listen to on the radio, maybe new music for some of us, but for them, they are on a different wavelength. They are listening to what they like, and things from their social, from a lot of it from TikTok, and especially at the time it was a little over a year ago when TikTok was growing for them before it made it big stream, because of, I think that COVID basically catapulted it. I got a lesson on the fact that the younger generation who I think drive a lot of what happens in music, it's a little different than, the mainstream. So.
Yeah. Well, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about TikTok and how much a platform like TikTok, like Twitch, how much does that impact you now going forward as a DJ? Because I'm going to tell you right now, I'm sort of new to Twitch and I'm enamored by it. Particularly for what DJs can do. They can put on a full show. I listened to a DJ from the UK last Saturday who did a 20-hour show because it was his birthday. And people Cash Apped him and Venmo'd him and PayPal'd him, tipped the DJ, and he went on and on and on. But it was the show, it was the visual, right? I know that you guys both have visual elements for your shows, and you don't really get to use them online. But I feel like Twitch is like that great best of both worlds, where you could literally put on a performance and use all of your tools and really create an environment. What do you guys think about Twitch and TikTok's influence on what you guys do?
Voyage, you can start if you want.
Well, I mean, I think that the main thing is adapting to what's happening around you with your surroundings and basically your audience. I've been put onto Twitch earlier this year, and as like you, Eric, I was kind of like researching and finding out who's out there, a lot of the current DJs, and I have a bunch of channels that I've been listening to, and I what I like about it is the fact that it does seem like it's a community. It's a way to interact with DJs that you may not have ever have interacted before. When we go out to the clubs in our area, you listen to those DJs that are there, but Twitch is a really good way, not just Twitch, but other streaming platforms as well. But Twitch is a really good way to kind of see and experience DJs, like you said, from the UK, from different countries, from across the country. And I think that right now, I think that a lot of people are realizing that, you can perform, and you can perform the way that you want to an audience. Because if they like what you're doing, they're going to listen, and they're probably going to do some subscriptions and whatnot. And I do feel like that TikTok is a good source for these people that want to become artists, and it's a way for them to be able to get out and make themselves seen. And they come up with a little dance or something like that, and that dance pops off, then next thing you know, you've got a song that goes to a dance that now you as a DJ can play and relate to them that way. And that's just my opinion on how it works. I think that it's going to be a big part of the future.
On the flip side of that, if I may add, I think it's just like the equipment that we use. It's just another way for us to connect as well as adapt. If you're a club DJ and the biggest club in the world is TikTok, right? You get on TikTok, you do your thing. Next thing you know, TikTok fades out, and here comes Twitch. Twitch gets in there, you can adapt to it. You go in there, you do, the art remains the same. You go in there, you do your thing, you are exposed to whoever that's on there, and they're checking out your skills. And then next thing you know, there's another platform. There are tons and tons of platforms. You just have to adapt. I also think that the popularity of certain songs that are played on TikTok or other streaming, just because they're popular, that does not make them like club worthy. You understand what I mean? It's because I say it all the time. YouTube is one of the best and worst thing that ever got invented. The reason for that is because some stuff that are out there have some beautiful visuals to them. Like they get a lot of popularities because of how the video was created. And then you try to play that song at a party, or the party that you feel like would be appropriate for that song, the people may not know about it. And they may not want to hear it just because it's a popular song. That doesn't make it a party-worthy song. And again, it's just that different streaming services, different streaming platforms, it's just like the equipment that we use. We use different turntables. We use different softwares, and there are also different, programs and controllers that we have to adapt to, and the skills still remain the same. Just the art, you have to know how to blend. You got to know what the music is that you have to present to the people.
Well, let me ask you, and Elaine brings up a great point that I actually thought that this discussion was going to be about. And thank you, Elaine, for your questions. What is your take on virtual dance parties or Zoom parties, right? When I first was thinking about doing this show, I thought that maybe this show would be a lot about that. And I wanted to kind of give you guys an opportunity to say, yeah, if you're doing a Zoom party or a virtual party and you need a DJ, these are the guys, right? But as I started to talk to you guys, you were telling me that that's not a big part of what you do. You can do it. You're capable of doing it, but it's not a big part of what you do. And if you've done them, I'll start with you, Voyage. What's your opinion on virtual dance parties or being hired for a virtual event? What's different, or what's good, or what's the pros and cons?
Well, I mean, I love any parties, anything that I can express my,
this I know.
my talents. I mean, you know how we go back and we've had a lot of our party days, but like the virtual Zoom parties are great. I mean, I think that what ends up happening is that, it's a way that you have people that know you, especially the people that know you or know of the DJs that are doing them, are able to basically just be a part of the stream or the party. So, they've got their cameras on, they've got, they got the Zoom playing and the good speakers in their house. And, it's almost like they're bringing the party with their friends to their home. So, I have done a bunch of these Zoom parties as well, and they're a lot of fun. And I think that the difficult part of the Zoom parties is, as a DJ, you focus on the music, you focus on trying to make sure people are having a good time. And I think that one element of it that would be useful is having some kind of like a moderator. And, I've got a good friend of mine, DJ Mott, he was putting on a show called The Quarantunes. And, he would be the host, and he'd have all the guest DJs. And right now, DJ Deftunes is also doing them as well. And the great part is that DJ Mott, he would be on his mic and he'd basically go across the board and look at people's cameras, see what they're doing, and shout them out, and made it interactive. So, I think that that's a good part of the Zoom parties, and I enjoy doing them as well. So, and I think that if you can't
a virtual hype man.
That's right. That's right. I mean, if you can't be at the clubs, might as well be at home, open bar all night,
And we have, of course, the beautiful and talented Navi on our show. Thank you so much for tuning in, Navi. Voyage, Junior Swoosh, and Ray G, the ultimate DJ trifecta. Now, let me just tell you, as someone who has had the privilege of being in the room with these three guys at the same time, let me just tell you, these guys know how to do it, right? If you could see, you can see a little bit of their setups in their homes. And I've been to Voyage's home. It is nothing short of amazing. And I love Swoosh's record collection right there. And Andy, there's our guy Andy, who knows all of us in this room. One of my favorite guys on the planet. Really a great guy, Andy. Thanks so much for tuning in today. And Miss Julissa, also known as Malia the model, who's a beautiful artist. And I had her on my show a couple of weeks ago. She's telling you guys, she's making her request. Play her brand new single, Be Gone. Available right now on all streaming platforms. I'll get my check in later from you, Miss Malia the model. Andy asked, do DJs have a strategy around actually booking your talents now, since the pandemic might be over during the middle of next year? So what are you guys doing to get ready for, booking events, or are you going to just kind of pick up where you left off? What are your plans for getting gigs right now?
If I may start, one of the things that I've been doing again is constantly go out there and, keep my skills fresh. Spin whenever I can, make mixes and throw on a Mixcloud whenever I can. And one of the things that really was important during this low time, I guess you can call it, is organization. I think all the DJs right now should be organizing, getting rid of old stuff, rotation. These records, it took me 3 months to put them up because they've been sitting on crates and bins for like years since we moved into this house. I finally got a chance to, alphabetize them and put them up where they're supposed to go and so on. That's the first thing, is to get organized. Secondly, invest onto the next version of equipment that you feel is going to be, worthy for you to use going forward. Whether it's the style, whether it's the new technology, whether it's how heavy it is, whatever. I think all of us are doing that. And price adjustment. So you may have to bring your price down a little bit back into the high paying gigs all over again. I think those things are like very important for all of us. Organizing, investing, and looking forward to get your name back out there again. As a matter of fact, I was going to add that I partner up with a videography company called In Focus Entertainment. They have a huge studio. They do live streaming of church shows. Pastors come and preach. They do like different type of shows, podcasts. Huge thing. And I'm the main DJ for all types of weddings. So most of the weddings that I'm getting is mostly word of mouth from people that actually had gigs with them, and they say, well, they're looking for the whole package in one setting, so they would end up calling me. Whenever that there are more people going to them and asking them for more gigs, they usually inform me that they want something, whether it's just for small gatherings, small weddings, religious weddings. Definitely the mixed couple weddings. I've been getting a lot of those. So if things get better in the next few months, in the middle of next year, and most likely they will start back up again and start getting busy, 3, 4, 5 weddings in a month.
Voyage, what about you? What are you doing now to get gigs, or are you getting gigs, or what's your strategy now going forward?
I mean, it's a moving target, obviously, with the whole pandemic. I've actually also have been enjoying the time home with the family. Before all of this, it was basically every week. It was DJing at this location, this wedding, this party. So I've actually been trying to take advantage of it and spending the time with the family, doing more activities. Because time is one thing you can't get back, and right now I use it as like a blessing in disguise. As far as the in-person gigs, I'm not taking any right now. I'm just focusing on the stuff that's virtual. But once things start going back into normalcy, quote unquote normalcy, I'd definitely be just picking up where I left off and taking advantage of the time. And like Swish said, organizing, doing the research on making sure that you're going to have up-to-date equipment, organizing your music. These are all things that I'm, taking advantage of as well. So this is some pretty productive downtime, I must say.
Yeah. Now, Swish, I know people that don't know about you, and I was around for the Officers Club in those days, but you have a distinct sort of specialty, the island, I'll call it the island vibe, right? That's where you, and I'm not saying, Voyage, you're no slouch. Let me just tell you, both you guys are super skilled. But I know for you, Swoosh, that's something that no matter what, you're going to find your way and take the audience with you back to the islands. Tell me about how that came about and why you have that as your specialty.
The more I think about it, the more it reverts back to coming from the country Haiti. I'm from Haiti, and the primary music in Haiti is compa. And compa is a combination of, Spanish music, African music, reggae. You just named everything. It's a compilation of everything. And to me, I feel like from the era that I grew up in was hip hop and reggae. I actually started spinning house music, and house music have its own flavor, its own break, and you were going into these rave clubs and the underground clubs, the after hour clubs, and you see how they move and they dance and so on and so forth. And then I started getting gigs into these type of clubs that required to spin more than just house music, and it was hip hop, the old school hip hops, like the Boogie Down Productions and EPMD, LL, those things, and then slowly venture out into the reggae, and then spinning with my man DJ Malcolm Masters up in Officers Club. Then he moved out of state, and I took over, and it was what I felt was like my niche, to have a bunch of different people from different islands, and they're all vibing to reggae. And at that time, reggae was the thing. You break it down a little bit with some soca and so on and so forth, but the way that you can really get intimate with reggae was the reason why that I feel like that's where I needed to be. Even in the past couple of years, the thing that's taken over the next level of that dance scene is Afrobeats. Afrobeats, if you listen to it, it's the same thing. It's it's reggae into African beat. And that actually is another thing that I feel like you will get people dancing no matter what. With nowadays, I feel like with hip hop, you have a certain group of people, like an age group, that can listen to the new age of hip hop for a certain period of time. And then you have, when you throw in a party and you're DJing a party and you throw the Afrobeats on, you throw the reggae on, you throw the old school hip hop and R&B on, guarantee you, it doesn't matter what age you are, people will be dancing for like a very long time. So with constant changes of music, I always revert back to compa, because compa, you get very intimate with it. Same thing with Zouk music, and same thing with Afrobeat and reggae. So it's basically compa. that's my niche. It's the compa give me more experience to get into like the other genres to get people moving.
Now, my man Voyage, I mean, this man is like a Swiss Army knife. Like Swoosh, you're great. I've seen you do work wonders in a room. Same with you, Voyage. But Voyage, I feel like I said, like a Swiss Army knife. You can go down any number of paths, and if I just walked in the room and you were on a certain path, I'd say that's your specialty. And then if I walked out and I came back 10 minutes later, I'd be like, oh, wait a minute, that's your specialty. Because you can take a genre from dance music, club music, top 40, I know that you have you can go down that Copa route, like Swoosh 2. You'll go down a Spanish music route, and you'll do it all, and it mixes seamlessly. And I know that kind of some of your philosophy is that you almost want to make it like, I'm just going to play one continuous song the whole night. Like, what is that? What is that process? What has that process been like as you've really sharpened your skills? Because I remember when you were taking two laptops, separate laptops,
Yeah.
and playing music from place to place at your parties. So what has that journey been like?
Oh man, I mean, that's been the fun part for me. Is I've always tried to find a way to morph the mixes, morph the music, morph the genres from one to the next. Like I said, the name DJ Voyage. I want to take you on a trip through music throughout the night. So, you'll find yourself not even realizing that you were dancing to hip hop, and then you going over to the Afro beats, and then the reggae, and then the old school, and so I think that that's been part of what my focus is, and the love that I've had for music all my years. Being in tune with the music is part of it, but focusing on trying to read the crowd, read how people are reacting to everything, and it's basic DJing 101 when you're performing live, but it's always been something that I've always focused on. And that's where the name Voyage came from. When I was younger, my mom always told me to keep with my music and don't ever give it up. And for the longest time, I didn't really know what she meant before she passed when I was 16. And along came the way, and my wife at the time, she held me down, she supported, she said, whatever you need, I got you. And I was like, well, I need a mixer, I need something. So she started off my career with buying me my first mixer, so I didn't have to use two laptops and computer speakers to DJ parties. So and that basically kicked it off, and I ended up going from doing that to making a lot of noise in the house with trying to figure out how to do these turntables and everything. And being a big fan of jamming was always the case. I used to listen to it back in the days of WZOU, and it was always a dream to be on the radio and at least have people hear me. And and they had this one contest about 8 years ago. It's been about 8 years now, and I submitted a mix, and they chose me as their new mixer at the time. And they said it was no contest. Shout out to DJ Puff Dog. He's really been a mentor for me on my radio career. And, I see how a hard worker does it there. And I picked up a lot of what I knew on the radio and the techniques through him. And, when he called me in, and I said, just by curiosity, how many people, entered? And he said it was 500 people. So I had to take that and make sure I made the best out of it. And I paid the homage to my mom with the name DJ Voyage. Her initials are YG. So I kept it going, and here we are.
No, incredible story. And I've been there for a little bit of that journey, but I know when a lot of hard work behind the scenes when no one was around except for Navi. It really shows. I want to take this opportunity to introduce another DJ who's joined us. Mr. DJ Ruckus is here today. Better late than never, but here nonetheless.
I'm sorry. I was in another area and my connection was crazy, but I appreciate y'all holding on with me. You know what I'm saying? Get me in this chat. I appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you, Ruckus. And for the people who don't know, you're down in the Providence, Rhode Island area, doing a lot of things, holding it down there. Just let the people know who are watching who you are, where they can hear you, and just a little bit about yourself.
I'm out of Providence, Rhode Island. I've been DJing for about 25 years, going on 26. I've owned my own radio station, podcast station for 11 years. And I'm in Providence, Rhode Island right now. With the pandemic, I'm not really DJing too many places besides Foxwoods, or if you could catch me online on everywhere from Twitch to Caffeine, which is the app I'm really helping push. And every once in a while I'll jump on, but I'm making this voyage, my new voyage, not about me, about the community and about other DJs in the community. So I'm not really focused on DJ Ruckus as much as I was before, like making sure that I put advertisement about myself up and everything that I'm doing. It's really about pushing this next generation coming up, because I got gray hairs, man. I'm getting old, and I don't
look good, my man. You look good.
I don't Beijing, so I'm gonna embrace the grays. But
I get it. And DJ Ray just wanted to let the people know that DJ Ruckus is fire, right? DJ Ray G is just such a good guy. But even to that point, just listening to you guys, I'm sure that there is, we all have a competitive streak, but I'm really amazed at how much you guys kind of help each other and follow each other and listen to each other and support each other, because I know, Swoosh, you say that you get together with some DJs and kind of geek it out sometimes and talk shop, but I'm always really amazed at how much you guys really care and support each other as a community.
Yeah, the one thing I have to say is that there are so many DJs out there, and they may be doing it for all different types of reasons, for the money, for the fame, whatever. But I think the art itself is important to our life, literally. I think you cannot have like a get together without having some kind of music in the background. With technology nowadays, you can just throw on a podcast, throw on a playlist from one of those streaming services, and then music can be played in the background. But it's a different thing when a DJ is selecting the songs for you by reading the crowd, reading what's going on, and I think, like I was saying to CJ Voyage, that when we go to his house, I'm not there to show off or butt heads with him. I'm trying to learn from him. I remember when he first got his mixer, and living in this small little apartment, we show up there and you're like, okay, this is what this button does, and so on and so forth. Now, if I go to his house, I've been DJing as probably more longer than DJ Ruckus, but I want to keep learning, like the stuff that Ruckus is doing or Voyage is doing, or my other DJ friends like Republic, Lou, Double F, those guys, like they have a certain skill about them that represents them, that shows what how you can recognize who's spinning at the current time. And if I can learn a little something from him, I can incorporate it to my skills, and then vice versa. We're gonna continue to support each other, because again, it's a community. It's not just a selfish thing.
Right.
It's a community.
With respect to that too, I think the days of competition between DJs is not, it's not obsolete, because of course there's a lot of DJ competitions and battling competitions. But when I was coming up, it was really about what's the best record you could grab, and used to go to New York and try to hit Rock and Soul and all these record stores, and Skippy White's out in y'all area, and then Skippy White's out here. So you used to try to get this exclusive record, but records are no longer exclusive. It's what kind of DJ you are to dig. You have to find that artist or that record that someone hasn't heard or because the internet is so vast and people are getting their music before you even get your music. So I think the competition aspect, especially nowadays with technology, used to try to go and get an acapella before somebody got an acapella or an instrumental that wasn't out there. But now you could get all that with just with technology. With virtual DJ, they just made something where you could get the acapella and instrumental with a click of a button. So I think the competition days are over, and I think as you get older, you figure out that it's more about how you can create longevity in this space. You wanna be able to last as long as possible with learning from other people what they're doing and how they're doing it. Because I just recently met Voyage and
Swoosh.
swoosh. I just met them, but I know that they have knowledge that I don't. You know what I'm saying? There's things, and here's the other thing. Regionally, you have a knowledge that no one else does because you understand your demographic in your area. I don't know what the hidden record is in his area, and they might not know that there's a hidden record out here. So the learning aspect, if as long as you can humble yourself, you can learn from any DJ in any area, because at the end of the day, they might have something that you just don't know or don't have.
Mm-hmm. So there's a couple of questions. Let me get a couple of questions in here in regards to a problem of rate adjustments for folks who are ignorant about the enormous financial investment needed to acquire your skill set over the decades. Can you tell us how much money you guys invested into your craft so customers can understand your value? Now, I'm going to answer for you in advance because there is no answer. It's a house, probably. You could probably buy another house. Wherever you live, there's another place where you could be living equally. You can't estimate the price. But I'm going to let you guys, I'll start with you, Voyage. What do you think? What do you think people don't understand about how much goes into, how much you invest, how much time, energy, your soul into being a DJ?
Oh man, I want to say that time is the biggest one. It's the biggest thing. Monetarily, as a DJ, you have to, purchase the equipment. That's just one piece of the puzzle. A single mixer back here, costs anywhere between $1,000, $2,000 just for that. But there's also recurring things, as a DJ, if you're trying to be current, you want to make sure you're part of the record pools. Those are monthly fees. Those are yearly fees. Having insurance for when you do go out and play at a venue. They make sure that you have DJ insurance. You have to have an insurance policy. You have to also pay for your marketing, your website, your domain names. There's just so much that goes into it, and it continues on. It's not something that's just, hey, I bought a mixer and now I'm a DJ. For some people, that could be the case. Right. You can do a lot for very little now. You could just, get on Twitch and have a webcam, a $50 webcam, and and make something happen. But when it comes I'm
gonna say for the people, right? Just so people know, right? Pay your DJ, right? Pay for the expertise, pay for the time and the energy and everything that goes into it. People, I'm a video producer, and everyone with a camera thinks that they can make videos and edit videos and make videos. And I say, yeah, you can get your cousin's friend's brother to do your project. But if you want it done properly and you want it done professionally, pay the money. In the end, you're going to pay. You're going to end up paying one way or another. So pay
for the experience.
Pay your DJs. Pay your DJs. And I know that there was another question up here that I wanted to get to too. I remember watching Jomo, aka DJ Plush, who I know, spinning vinyl in the dorms at Framingham State. Today, where everything is computerized, speaking of technology, what's the next new thing in the years to come? What's the next technology out there? Now, I know, Ruckus, you've worked inside of a big time DJ equipment supplier. So what's new out there? What's next out there?
I mean, in terms of the DJ equipment, I think it has to do with what you're comfortable with. But a lot of DJs are looking for the lightest, whatever the lightest is to get you in and out of a gig. Whatever could hook up very quickly, where you don't have to spend time hooking it up, and whatever's inclusive. A mixer that might have a light show in it, which they're working on. They're working on just a mixer with a box that you hook up to your lights, and it coincides with your lights. So I think that's where everything is going. Another thing that they're looking at is integration with software. The software right now, there are a couple of other Serato and Virtual DJ and Tractor. I think that we're trying to get more inclusion with the software, trying to get more things out of the software where you only need one program to work everything. And they're working on that. Right now in my studio, I didn't get the one, but I do have, this is the MK2. So this is the second Rain turntable that they try to make as good as the 1200. This is version 1. There's a couple of other buttons, but what they did was, just because they want to make sure that you can use it without having to use just a Rain mixer, that on the second version they made it analog and they made it digital, so you can hook up RCAs on that, and you can hook up just a USB cord straight to the mixer. So they're trying to figure out ways to make it. That's their thing, making it easier. My thing is, I want the software to not be glitchy. I know Swoosh and I know Voyage, you have been in gigs where you're like, oh, please, you see that? You're begging your computer, please do not do this to me right now. Like, it could be one thing, it could be a corrupt file that could take out your whole life. You feel like your life is just draining. Good DJs know how to use the mic while they're rebooting their computer. Like, you'll see a DJ's hands and fingers working a mile a minute, and they're talking on the mic at the same time. So I think it's about just making sure that the software works with the hardware, and you're not looking like a fool. So in terms of the question of what's the biggest technology coming out, I think they just the technology is there. They just have to tighten it up a little bit.
Excellent. So we are wrapping up. I see, Ruckus, you are set up in your studio. Thank goodness you're not playing music, because if you were playing music, we'd get shut down. And you weren't here earlier to hear me say, don't play any music, please. I mean, I know this is a DJ forum, but Facebook, they don't play around. Thank you to my man Sean Shumei, who's one of my oldest and dearest friends from my college days, for tuning in today. I'd love to drop a track, but we can't do it. I mean, I want to. I know Ruckus is right there, but no, we can't do it because rules are rules. But Twitch is out there for you guys to play music continuously. So we're about to wrap up. I want to first thank each and every one of my guests. You guys have been incredible. I've learned a lot. I have so much respect for you guys individually. And you guys are actually, in my book, you guys are artists, right? You play artists, you gas up artists, and you know, you're someone that maybe people can go out and hire and play a gig or whatever. But to me, you guys are artists. I've seen skilled DJs take a bad room, and make it a good room, and vice versa. I love what you guys do. What I want to do just before we wrap up is give each and every one of you one last opportunity. I'll give you about 1 minute each, just to tell people who you are, where you are, what you are, and how people can get in contact with you. I'll start with Swoosh. You go first. I'm going to give you the floor. You have about 1 minute, and then I'll move on.
Yes, my name is Junior Swoosh. Once again, thank you for having me. You probably know me very well from the days of Officers Club in the Jungle Room, the reggae room. Right now, my main focus of DJing are weddings, mostly mixed weddings. I have my page on Mixcloud. You can get on there and check me out, Junior Swoosh, as well as my Instagram. Information is right at the bottom of the screen. And, you know, I look forward to continue to keep this art form going. And shout out to all my other DJs out there. I see Mix, Lou, Voyage, definitely appreciate you. And nice meeting you too, Ruckus.
Thank you so much. And we'll go to Ruckus. Ruckus, tell the people, because you have, I mean, we didn't really get a chance to get to you, but you got so many things going on. You're like so in it for the culture, but I'm going to give you 1 minute and just tell the people what you want them to know about you.
Right now I'm working on just trying to own a radio station. I think that's the biggest thing right now, ownership, especially with the DJs. Don't take gigs out there that a promoter or owner is giving you minimal money. Do it yourself. Go rent out a spot and go do it yourself. They're looking for your crowd. So with me, it's really about ownership. I'm looking to own a radio station in 2021, and it's almost right there. And if anybody wants to be a part of that, you can look us up. It's the Juice 899 at any Gmail, from Instagram all the way down. And me, it's Follow a DJ on any single platform, from Mejente to Black Planet to OnlyFans. I have it all. So just look me up, Follow a DJ. You'll see what we're doing. We got a Kickstarter up for that radio station. So if you want to help out, or you have some input about what New England should sound like, because to me, New England doesn't sound like hip hop. It sounds like pop.
Respect, Ruckus. Anyone trying to build their own, I just, I have to give ultimate respect to you. I know you're doing a lot of things, and we're going to definitely link up, because we are just meeting now through this show, but I'm going to link up with you and just hear more about your story. Ultimate respect to you. And then finally, my man, I feel like he's my house DJ. He's like my personal house DJ, DJ Voyage. Tell the people who you are, what's going on with you, and how they can reach you.
Yeah, I'm DJ Voyage. You guys can catch me on the mixes on the Friday Night Throwdown on 94.5 every Friday night. I do the 2 a.m. slot, but also do some slots here and there, different times. Just if you want to get any updates on that, hit me up on my social. It's I am DJ Voyage. That's on Instagram, djvoyage.com, Facebook, all of the same, Twitter. And, at any time you want to hear any mixes, mixcloud.com. You can catch the link in my bio on Instagram. I'll probably be starting up a Twitch channel soon, so you'll be able to find me there. Yeah. So, Eric, you put me on. And, I'm just the same as the other guys as well. Just trying to keep the craft alive, trying to enjoy it. Passionate about music, just want to keep it going. And so, thank you, DJ Ruckus. It's awesome meeting you. DJ Junior Swoosh, you already know. Eric, once again, thank you so much for putting this on and having us on. It means a lot to me, and it means a lot to, my family and everything. So I want to thank you once again. Appreciate it.
Guys, again, thank you so much. So much love to you.
Eric, you might need to make this a 2-hour show.
I'd love to, but people have jobs. People got to go and do stuff. It's the middle of the day and the middle of the week.
Come on, Eric, man. You got three guys really working out here. You gotta lighten this show a little bit.
We're gonna bring everybody back at the beginning of the new year, because we have a lot of other things that we have to touch on. I'm gonna get DJ Ray in here. I'm gonna have to drag him in, and a couple of other DJ friends too. But you guys have been incredible. I have to wrap up now. It's a hard out at 2:00. I promised. And I want to thank everybody who tuned in today. I want to thank my DJs, DJ Ruckus, DJ Junior Swoosh, and DJ Voyage. This has been the Wednesdays at 1 show on Facebook, on YouTube, and yes, now on Twitch. We'll see you next week with another incredible show, and you'll be hearing a little bit more about that in the days to come. Thank you to my audience. Thank you to my guests. I'll see everyone next Wednesday at 1.
Daddy, I can't hear
Peace.
them.